that was jarring. Okay. Well, I guess there's no turning back now. Okay. Now let's see if everything works here. Okay. Alright, so I'm just checking the screen that I have in front of me just to make sure that I have everything set up correctly. And I froze. Okay, so I guess there's a delay in this, but you know what? I fussed enough on this, so I'm just going to go ahead and start working. So, welcome to my first live stream. My name's Daphne Lage. I'm an independent publisher and comic book artist, and I'm currently working on my comic book Tall Tales, which is a furry fantasy adventure, which is now I'm working on my 6th issue out of an 8-issue limited series. So that's what I have on the screen right now. Well, on my table right now. And the idea was, I figure since I have to work on this page anyway, I might as well test out doing a live stream, sharing it with all of you, and seeing what happens. So right now I'm still trying to figure out how everything is going with this live stream. I'm noticing there's a lot of delay. I don't know if you guys notice it. I notice it on my end, but we'll see. So might as well, you know, leave it for what it is. It's my first one. Whatever glitches, we'll figure it out as we go along. So the page that I have on the table is page 8 from the 6th issue of Tall Tales, Tears of the Mother. If you want to know more about it, I have links below where you can actually read Tall Tales for free, get a feel for it. And oh, and by the way, if you hear any really, really weird noises, I do have the windows open because it's very hot. I have a fan going over here, and I have a rather cheeky parrot that I share the office with on this side. So if you hear any weird noises, that's probably him. It's probably the fan. It's probably from outside, but it is what it is. So without much ado, I really got to get started working on this page. So let's get going. So before I get started, I just wanted to explain a weird thing about this page is that it seems that this page I put in too many panels. So I'm not sure why I did that or why the scene is going the way it's going. But I'm going to pencil it anyway. And if it's something that I can fix on the computer, I'll go ahead and do that. If not, if it's not too awkward, I'll probably leave it the way it is, especially once I put the lettering in. So let's just get started here. So of course I have all my comics for reference on the side here because I'm always having to look back on them. Oh. Ooh. Sneezing. Also sweating. I think it's like 90 degrees here right now, so it's like I always got to keep a towel nearby. Because it gets actually difficult to draw on these pages if they get too clammy, whether just by the humidity in the air or just me sweating on them, because that happens sometimes. So yeah, I'm a little thrown off by the delay between what I'm seeing in OBS and what is being presented on YouTube. So I'm not sure if that's something that's normal or if it's something I have to look into fixing for next time. Because I'm not sure if this video is supposed to be in real time or broadcasting real time, so I gotta look into that because it's a little disorienting, you know, to look at the screen and see what I'm doing is something that I did already. Oh, welcome to the 4 people who are watching this. I hope you're getting some entertainment value out of this. I don't know how, but I'm glad you're here. I said, it's 90 degrees, so I want to keep sweating on the actual paper to a minimum. Also, if you're here watching it, it would help if I didn't have my hands on the actual artwork, right? So you can see what I'm doing. This is pretty much why I like doing like regular recorded videos, you know, where I script it and film it and then have to edit it together, because then it's like I have more control over the final result, as opposed to this, which is like right now is super awkward. But you know, the whole point is that the more I do this, the more I'll get used to it, and then it won't be that big of a deal to do more of them. I mean, honestly, I didn't think, hold on. Let me actually blow my nose. Hand sanitizer again. Where was I? What was my train of thought? Oh, yes. So I thought that I wouldn't be doing live streams for maybe a bit more. I had wanted to wait until I got to 1,000 subscribers, because that seemed to be the thing to do. But you know, I've been meaning to try doing one of these for a while anyway. So since I had to get this work done anyway, I figured, oh, let me kill two birds with one stone, and I'm not liking this. I'll get back to that in a minute. I actually have to open up my reference on the computer. There we go. So right now I have my reference on the screen, so I'm going to be referring to that. 5. We have 5 viewers now. Welcome, welcome. I'm trying not to completely bore everyone to death with this. Still trying to figure out what I want to do with live streams in general as opposed to what I'm doing now. Right now it's like, well, I have a comic book page to finish today, so might as well figure out how to live stream while I'm at it. I haven't decided if I'm going to actually leave this up. After I'm done. I'm probably just going to do this for about, I don't know, maybe about an hour or so, depending on how much I get done. If you just came in and you're hearing noises, kind of, I have a fan going, I have my windows open, stuff's going on outside, so I have no control over that. So far it's been okay, quiet, so. Maybe next time. Oh. Oh, there we go. Okay, so we have my first chat. So we have Shut the Door TV. This is so cool. I had never seen anyone draw comics like those traditionally before. This is a really big motivation for me. Haha. Well, thank you. Thank you very much. I'm not one of these people who really got into drawing digitally. Even though I do have a Cintiq and I technically could, but the learning curve on it is just too much for me, and there just comes a point where it's like, you know what, it's easier, I just do it this way, you know, rather than... New skills are nice, but there are some skills that are not as important as what I know already, so... I'd rather keep with the traditional sketching. And we have Catch the Craze. Hi, Sam! So, you know, here we are. You know. So, oh, by the way, Sam in the chat, he has a podcast himself, Catch the Craze Podcast. Fantastic. He interviews all these independent creators, comic book people, musicians, authors, and if you ever wanted to watch a show while you're drawing, that's the show to watch, because it's like, not only does him and George have some really interesting, if not really funny banter going between them, but you can learn a lot from the interviews. So, highly suggest it. Catch the Craze. Watch it. Oh, and subscribe, too. Subscribe to Catch the Craze, too. Don't just watch it and then not subscribe. Oh, my triangle. Where was I? Ah, yes. Yeah, so even though I already have blue line sketches on this page, that's more like placeholders for the characters rather than like Parrot, by the way. If you're wearing headphones, I'm sorry if you blew out your ears. So, The blue lines are more like placeholders, and then I go in and I put in the actual construction lines that I'm going to use on top of that. Like I said, I have a delay on my end, so but that's something that I'm going to see if I can fix later. Or maybe it's the thing where you're not supposed to be watching video of yourself while you're live streaming. So I don't know which. So I'm gonna figure that out for next time. Let's see. Okay, so Shut the Door TV is asking, do you have any tips to keep character designs consistent when drawing comics? Well, you see, the funny thing is that any advice I give you right now is technically advice I don't follow myself. It's kind of weird, but I'll tell you. So, when you have characters, what you want to do is you want to draw them out first the way you want them to look. So, pretty much you're going to do your standard turnaround. Me, I don't do turnarounds as much as I just do just a straight on like a pin-up of the full body of the character. And then that's especially more to get all the details in the costume correct and consistent. Like right now with these characters, I'm looking at my pinup sketches of what these characters are supposed to look like, so I can keep their costumes consistent. I also have like a whole stack of my previous comics to make sure that I'm also consistent between what I did in previous issues. I mean, I don't do like the full, because there's some artists that they do like turnarounds that are like oh, that's like it's every little angle of the character, like just pages full of them, and that's just one character. And this book has so many characters in it, I kind of don't have the time for that. So usually I just stick with the one pin-up of each character and then keep it from there, because honestly, it's like this being my own book, as long as the characters look like them, if that makes any sense, I'm not concerned with like absolute consistency. It's like, oh, like this button is always on this side, or these stripes on the shirt are exactly this width. But that's kind of the beauty of doing my own stuff, is that I don't have to be like super anal about it, as opposed to if you're working, for somebody, or like an animation company or another comic book company, or you're getting paid for the work, and maybe that person wants their character to look exactly like a certain way throughout the book. So yeah, because my concern now at the stage that I'm at is more being efficient. So yeah, so I take a lot of shortcuts. I take a lot of shortcuts that, which for a beginner you probably shouldn't be taking. So yeah, so if you want to keep it simple, it's like, yeah, you do your pinups of every character, or as many characters as you need, and you just and you just follow those guides. So Sam is asking, I noticed you have one layer of blue lines and another in red, then you ink. Any reason for this method? Yeah, this is my way of doing layers on paper. Because you know how in Photoshop you're able to do layers and put things. So what this does, so by doing the characters and backgrounds and props in different colors, I'm able to see what I'm doing better. So then when I go into ink, I know what I'm looking at, as opposed to everything just being one color. So it makes it easier for me to ink in the end, to have everything in like separated as much as possible. So also it makes me feel like an animator for some reason. I don't know, and I kind of and I kind of like the aesthetic of it. But yeah, it's more of a visual thing. Maybe too short. It's supposed to be more in the front. Oh, also, another reason why I like using color pencils instead of regular lead pencils is that when I ink on top of these pencils, I don't have to erase anything. When I scan the page into Photoshop, I use Photoshop to remove all the lines so that I don't damage any of my inks trying to erase anything. And that has been like a huge time saver for me. Because I'm sure you know how it feels to have to erase everything on an 1117 page. Now I don't have to do that anymore. To tell you the truth, it's like I can't even remember like kind of the last time I used an eraser for that. It's like I only use an eraser for the pencils, but for the actual inks, it just saves the ink so much. Oh yeah, like I said, it's like now at this point, I'm looking for anything that makes my work efficient. But yeah, but that was the big one for me, not having to erase anything. Smooth that out a bit. do that? Oh, okay. One thing about character design though, it's like I know all the bells and whistles and buckles look cool and all that when the characters are pin-up, but there's really something to be said about keeping designs simple, because you got to remember you're going to be drawing these things over and over and over again. So I'm having a little artist remorse right now for some particular design decisions that seemed like a good idea at the time. But hey, that's how it works, right? Ooh, we have 7 people now. Welcome. Welcome, everybody. Although, probably this video would have been more interesting if I had stuck to the center of the page rather than the top. mean, what's funny is that this top panel was actually the panel I was dreading on working on. It's like, you ever get that? And then you end up procrastinating because you don't want to work on a panel that you know you need to draw. But here, at least this way I'm almost done. And it's like, oh, okay, it wasn't that bad. Sometimes a panel with a lot of characters will do that for me. I think also that's one of the reasons why I figure I force myself to do a live stream, so then I'll actually sit down and work on the page, as opposed to just procrastinating because I'm feeling intimidated by a panel that I designed. Go figure. But if you're feeling intimidated by a panel, it's because that panel needs to be there. You can't just fake everything with headshots. Oh my goodness. Okay. Like I said, that panel was haunting me for a while, so at least it's done. So let's do one more panel and we'll wrap this up. Oh. It's like, what are we timed at now? So it's already an hour and 6 minutes. So let's yeah, let's do one more panel, and we'll wrap this test up, and you know, see what goes from there. Oh, hey, hey, shut the door TV. It's been a lot of fun. I hope you do it again in the future. I expect so. I guess this wasn't as difficult as I thought it was. The setup was a little tricky, but once you know how to do it, it seems to be just rather press the button and go. So now it's just figuring out when would be the best time to do this. Because I know people love schedules. You know, they love things to be predictable. So now it's just to figure out, like, if I wanted to do live streams regularly, like what would be a good time to do? Like, should I do one like every Wednesday, every Friday, every Monday? I'm leaning more towards Wednesdays because I'm trying to put out a new video every Friday. So I figure, you know, one recorded video Friday, and then a live stream on Wednesdays. I don't know. How does that sound? I mean, it sounds workable for me. So, you know, I figure, like, you know, late in the afternoon, like we're doing now, you know, should be a good time. So that's what I'm trying to figure out now. trying to find something in a previous issue to see if I even drew it. Oh yeah, I would put up a poll if I, but the thing is though, YouTube won't allow me to do polls because I don't have enough subscribers. So we're just gonna have to wing this for a bit without a poll. It's kind of funny the odd little things here and there that YouTube saves until you reach a certain amount of people subscribing. So yeah, a poll would have been completely logical, but no polls for me until I think I reach 1,000 subscribers. So, which I'm close. I'm at 787. So I think that 1,000 subscribers would unlock polls and some other things. Oh, and I feel like the community tab, I can actually have that. And what else? I think I could do super chats at 1,000. But we have to get there first, so. Okay, so that gives me 2 more panels to go. I think it's not that bad. An hour and 19. I think, so at least I get to finish this off screen. But I just want to thank everyone for showing up. I think we're at maximum 7 people here, so thank you so much for wanting to watch me draw a comic book page and enjoying it, I guess. I hope. So yeah, so like I said, I'm looking to do more live streams probably every Wednesday around like maybe like 2-3 o'clock. I might do a couple of tests before then, I'm not sure, but and hopefully I pay a little bit more attention to the way I'm speaking, because like I said, I'm so used to dealing with writing scripts and editing that I'm beginning to realize, oh, that's a lot of ums and ahs. Well, yeah, so hopefully next time it won't be as bad. I'll be more conscious about that. So thank you very much for showing up and, you know, watching me draw. Maybe you were drawing at the same time. We were drawing together, you know, offering some moral artistic support. And don't forget to the usual, like, subscribe, you know, give it a thumbs up. You know, the algorithm loves that thumbs up. So I guess that's it. So I'm going to go ahead and finish these 2 panels and scan this in and clean it up. If you want to see the finished pencil piece, I am putting up all my pages up on Patreon, where for as little as $2 a month, you can see all these pages before I show them to anybody else, pretty much. Because pretty much the Tall Tale, I'm going to be working on the Tall Tales book. Everything's going up on Patreon, and then once it's ready for Kickstarter, then that's when it'll be available to everybody. So if you're on Patreon, you can see the entire process before anybody else does. So like I said, thank you again. Thank you for coming. And I'll see you on the next one. Now I got to figure out how to shut this off. So give me a minute. So let's see. Okay. So I think... Okay, yeah, I think all I got to do is press the button. So see you next time. Bye. Ciao. Bye.